The current big picture challenges of the spring 2020 collection. One is making a made-to-order collection. I decided to only make garments that people order, in exception to the collection samples that need to be presented to customers or stores. I'm not going to make a garment that doesn't already have a customer ordering it. Customers often want to customize some part of the garments, and that's not possible with already made inventory. With made to order, I can change the color, the size, add long sleeves, make the length longer. I can semi-customize the garments that customers order. Fashion is such a wasteful industry. I didn't want to contribute to that identity of fashion. It's not environmentally friendly to try and guess what customers want by pre-making lots of inventory. It's easier to just ask my customers, what do you want? So I'm focusing on semi-customizable pieces and also fully customizable pieces. I do think it's important to design a collection and make samples because that shows the potential of what I can make for customers. It hopefully gets them excited, which hopefully results in more orders. So they can be inspired by a piece in my collection, and then they can change details of it to make it exactly what they want. I also do fully customizable. If you know exactly what you want, let's work together and materialize it. It's way too risky to have my cash tied up in inventory. This is how I ran my previous fashion line in Shanghai. I could tell pretty quickly the business wasn't going to scale up very well. It didn't feel right. Selling a made-to-order collection, previously I've worked with small boutiques that work on consignment, meaning they put some of your pieces in their shop and then they see if they sell. If they sell, then you get a percentage of that sale and the shop gets a percentage of that sale. This requires the designer to take on the full financial risk of putting their money in the inventory that sits in the shop and might or might not sell. The boutique's risk, I'm really not sure because I've even had contracts with boutiques that stated that if something was stolen from their shop, either I would get nothing and the financial loss would completely be my own because my money was in that inventory completely already, or the boutique and the designer would split the financial loss 50-50, which, okay, that's definitely slightly better than the designer taking the full loss, but in my opinion, the whole thing kind of just sucks. It's just, as a designer, working with boutiques by consignment, it just didn't feel sustainable and there's too much risk for the designer, in my opinion. Wholesale business and business accounts are made for large quantities. For example, Lycra told me their minimum order quantity that I could purchase from their distributor is 72 tubes or cones of bare Lycra. How many tubes do I need for sampling? I need 1 tube or cone right now, and I can't get it. It's 72 or it's nothing. And I have to go with nothing because 72 cones cost more than my whole budget for this collection. Also, business accounts, like for example DHL, don't seem to be made for small business owners either. Getting small cone quantities shipped from Asia, the shipping can easily cost more than the actual yarn. I'm not really sure how that happens, but that's what seems to happen. In a nutshell, those are our big picture challenges, or we can call them opportunities for growth and improvement. The current sort of personal challenges that I have are, one, being a one-man show small designer. I'm doing everything by myself with equipment that I have at home. It's a lot of work for one person. My previous collection, I worked with a small factory in Shanghai that produced my garments, so all I had to do was design. I didn't have to make anything myself, which was really nice. Production limitations. As I design, I need to be aware of what I can easily produce on my own, so my designs can't be too elaborate. This machine is capable of a lot, but the man hours necessary for elaborate designs isn't realistic if I actually have to reproduce garments for orders. I'll save the more elaborate garments for one-off, fully customizable orders. So some current technical challenge we have now is making a spring 2020 collection on a 7-gauge knitting machine. It's a little bit of a chunky gauge for a spring collection, and knitwear in general is not known to be a spring season garment. Number 2 is that I'm not able to source the Lycra yarn here in the United States. I've talked about this a lot. It's been really difficult. Number 3 is finding other yarns stocked in the United States in single cone quantities. The reason I'm doing a recap of all these challenges is because you can see how big picture challenges quickly trickle down and affect and create the sort of technical and small day-to-day challenges of designing a collection. It's all connected, and it's good to understand why we have the current collection challenges. So options to move forward, there's a lot of opportunity. I keep searching for Lycra and other yarns that are stocked and available in single cone quantities here in the United States. It's not impossible, and I do have a great supplier that keeps many yarns in stock with single cone order quantities. I don't know what I would do without them. They are sending me some yarn reelings to look at, including a Lycra yarn option and some other natural fibers. So I'm going to explore those a little bit. Because the Lycra yarn has been a challenge, I did some stitches in just the bamboo viscose yarn. I'm not worried about tops because a single end in jersey works just fine, but I was worried about pants, shorts, any kind of bottom where the fabric tends to be heavier. I have to figure that out. Some things we've learned is that having restrictions does give us predetermined guidelines to move forward. Having some requirements in design is usually a good thing. If we had an unlimited budget with unlimited resources and no deadlines, it would take all the problem solving out of it and it wouldn't be as interesting. As Orson Welles once said, the enemy of art is the absence of limitations. So let's make some art. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video and the update on the Spring 2020 collection and the challenges that we're sort of facing. And I think they're a good thing. We're just going to kind of move forward. This is how you create a collection. You have to make it through some challenges and some difficult things. The industry is not always on your side, especially when you are a teeny tiny designer that nobody knows and your order quantities are super teeny tiny. Not a lot of people want to work with you. Not a lot of yarn mills want to work with you, but that's all part of the challenge of being a small designer. Thanks for watching. Share this with your friends that also want to start fashion lines or be fashion designers. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know down below whatever you want to let me know. I'm not going to give any instructions today. Just write whatever you want down below and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.